It's almost been 24 hours since the launch of Halo 2 on PC and the MCC update on Xbox One, and needless to say, well, the Master Chief Collection is a mess. Again. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. In this video, we're going to be discussing Halo 2 Classic and Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer, and I'm going to give my brief impressions on the campaign. Now, to start us off with the campaign, generally overall I've had pretty good performance and I'm having a good time playing it. I have run into some issues, those being the fact that in some instances in certain areas of a level, the performance does drop. Now, I run my system at 1440p with VSync on and the frames locked at 60. And I also have the Xbox Game Bar Performance tab open and on another monitor. And when I run into these areas, performance drops anywhere from 45 frames all the way down to 20. Another issue that I've been running into is weird texture pop-ins and weird texture flickering when it comes to the Halo 2 Anniversary graphics. Switching back and forth, this problem does not exist in the original graphics engine, only in the Anniversary version. And while it certainly doesn't cause any performance and it's not game breaking, this definitely isn't the way that the game was intended. It's certainly not functioning the way that it should. Now, another issue that I've been running into, again, and this affects both the classic graphics and the new graphics, is when it comes to the Sentinel beam, the beam is actually shooting below where the targeting reticule shows. I don't know if this is the only weapon, but I assume that it probably does exist with other guns in the game, at least in the campaign. I don't know as far as the multiplayer goes. I haven't checked that out, but I wouldn't be surprised if the issue exists in both of them. Now, when it comes to the multiplayer, I don't have as much time in it as a lot of the bigger YouTubers and streamers have, and their problems are very well documented on their channels and in their streams. The only issues that I've run into is when using a rocket launcher, shooting it free-handed an enemy, the rocket just doesn't exist. It just disappears. It makes the noise and it takes the ammo out, but the rocket just vanishes into thin air. Now, when locked onto a vehicle, I've noticed there's no problems. So I'm sure that this is just an issue with shooting it freehand. And again, this only exists in the classic version. Moving into the Halo 2 Anniversary, the issues that I've noticed with that, one, are actually pretty severe lag. I know that it's not my systems. My internet's fine. My PC runs great. And another issue is also shot registration. There have been plenty of times where I'm shooting an enemy with absolutely no shield in the head, and even going back in and looking in theater mode, the bullets are hitting them, but they don't die. So that's an issue that needs to be fixed. The shot registration is something that is going to drive players away, so that's something that I hope that they can get onto right away. Now, moving on, 343 has responded to the issues that have been happening with the MCC on PC and on Xbox One on a post here on the Halo support site. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what it says. This was posted 2 hours ago. Halo 2 MCC update. It's been almost 24 hours since the launch of Halo 2 on PC and the MCC update, and it's been a very busy time to say the least. Many of you have been playing, tweeting, posting threads, filing support tickets, and letting us know how things are going. Currently, the team is prioritizing work on two key problems the community has reported: erratic projectiles in Halo 2 multiplayer that have a tendency to inexplicably betray teammates, and degraded performance and experience with Halo 3 on Xbox One. Now, this is actually interesting, the degraded performance experience with Halo 3 on the Xbox One, because this update was actually supposed to improve performance, because in a prior update that they had when they released the update for Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox, it kind of broke a few things. And funny enough, I actually have a clip here I wanted to show you guys. I haven't experienced this. This is from somebody on Twitter. I will put the link for their account in the description in case you guys are interested to go ahead and follow them. They post some pretty interesting things here, but nonetheless, here is the clip. Now, I don't have to tell you that that is not supposed to happen. The gun turret on the back is gone and the vehicle is driving itself, and it just drives out to sea. Now, they have a little bit of a timeline here that we're going to go ahead and take a look at. Between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., they were on with Steam, and buttons were pressed at 7:58 to ensure that the game was available at 8 p.m., 11 p.m. my time. And they noticed, people were installing, booting the game up and playing and streaming it. And they saw issues that existed, and they brought them up in the war room, a virtual team with members with various teams across the studio, and they were able to assess and migrate a few minor things very quickly. At 10 p.m., they have what's called first contact. It is when a streamer had a series of rockets and they were betraying teammates on the other side of the map. It happened a few times and ended up getting booted from the match because of this. It was flagged, and the entire group of folks around 10:06 flagged this as a potential issue. Now, this is something that they have noticed and that they have been working on. Currently, right now, they are still working on a fix towards the Halo 2 projectile issue. In addition, work continues in parallel validating fixes for other issues, some of the known ones that have already been worked on. And once the team feels good about the fixes and a handful of these key issues, they will need to spend an adequate time internally with the partners testing and verifying that these are truly resolved and that there are no regressions anywhere else in the title. Once they get to that point, they'll have a better sense of timing to release a hotfix. So by the time that you guys are seeing this, more than likely the problems still exist, and it sounds like they're going to for at least, I would say at most, another 72 hours. They say, please know that the teams are working as quickly as they can to address the issues and areas of feedback. The reality is that no two issues are the same. Some end up being a quick and easy fix, while others are more tangled and complex, requiring lengthier testing and more substantial release management depends. And of course, all of this comes when the teams and development partners are scattered and working from home, with or without standard resources or their facilities, doing their best to navigate new development and production's realities. Now, I understand with everyone working from home that it's kind of amazing that we got this game at all. But when I made that video talking about the known bugs and glitches that were going to be launching with this title and then being forced upon the Xbox One version with the update that they had, I immediately said that it should have been delayed. It would have been okay. Now, I know they probably have internal deadlines that they have to meet. They want to have the entire MCC out on PC by the end of this year, and they're also working on Halo Infinite at the exact same time for both PC and Xbox Series X, but it would have been okay. I feel that a lot of the fans would have much rather had a more polished title released than pretty much kind of what we had now. Even though I haven't experienced as many of the glitches that exist in the game, and my experience has been very minor when it comes to that, I would have been okay with them delaying it. But how do you guys feel about Halo 2 PC? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. I upload content weekly. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. I've got my social media and support for the channel if that's something that interests you. But until next time, everyone, I'd like to thank all of you for joining me here today, and I'll see all of you in the next video.